Let's talk about the Mighty 3, a no-screen music player that connects to Spotify and Amazon Music. This caught our attention because a parent asked us if there was a way for them to allow their kids to listen to music, podcasts, and audiobooks without having to have a smartphone because the family has a no screens rule in the bedroom. And we thought that was a really interesting situation, so we did some searching and we came across the Mighty. And they were able to send one along to us to give you our impressions. And so here's our thoughts on the Mighty. Given that the era of the iPod no longer exists, with the iPod Shuffle ending in 2017,
The new iPod Shuffle. It's even smaller than the second generation.
And the iPod Touch ending in 2022. Are there any alternatives? And a big challenge today is that people typically don't download individual songs and pay for them. Most subscribe to music services like Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and Amazon. And there are a plethora of MP3 players on Amazon, but most require to manage song files as music players did in the early 2000s. Now, some smarter players, like iPod Touches, claim to connect to services like Spotify and often have additional functions that some families may not want to have their kids get access to. So recently, we discovered the Mighty 3, a screenless Spotify, Amazon Music player that they sent one to our studio for review. And Mighty did not get to preview this review or pay for any part of it beyond actually sending us the product. And it's marketed as primarily a workout tool, but it also emphasizes a screenless option for kids. And here are some thoughts. First, it resembles a slightly larger fourth generation iPod Shuffle, for any of you who remember those. It's small and pretty basic. You listen from a singular 3.5 millimeter headphone port. Charging is also via the 3.5 millimeter headphone port. And this certainly is not a traditional charging method as most people would expect. And definitely don't lose this included cable, because even here in the studio, we don't even have such a USB to headphone port adapter, given the boxes of cables that we have here in the studio. It would have been nice to have seen a USB or USB-C charging port. That would be nice to have for more universal charging options. So just be aware of that. And Mighty claims to have a strong 8 hours of battery life, and the actual storage space is in gigabytes. Is exactly unknown, but does claim over 1,000 songs of storage. Everywhere, the branding is all about freedom from the phone, and I think this is somewhat a bit true, but could be misleading. Getting your playlists actually onto the Mighty does actually require a phone, at least at first. And we can't fault this too much because, well, without a smartphone, how are you supposed to get Spotify and Amazon Music onto the actual device? This does have a possible benefit, though, for parents with younger kids who don't have a phone, as family leaders can certainly check and approve music playlists when they transfer those songs onto the phone. So that actually may not be a deal breaker for allow parents to have a better understanding what kind of media their kids are actually listening to. And of course, for those of you who are more Apple families, Apple Music is not compatible because, well, Apple would never let their music service on a non-Apple device. This will also not work with free music plans like Spotify Free or Amazon Prime without the premium upgrade. You do require a premium subscription to those services. However, that is typically how most people listen to music today. You will need to sync the Mighty every 30 days or so your music history can be sent to the music service to ensure that artists are properly paid. Because if you didn't know, when you listen to music on a subscription plan, the payment goes to artists based on the amount of plays. And you do not need to manually update playlists. Setting up the connection to your local Wi-Fi network, the Mighty can automatically update your playlist every night. And playback controls are pretty straightforward. You have up and down as for your volume, skip forward, you can go back, and you can switch playlists by a simple button press. All this has a voice over playlist navigation menu so you know what you're actually doing. Beyond that, there isn't any more to share here. If you are truly looking for a no-screen music player that connects to Spotify or Amazon Music, I can't think of any other tool and way to achieve that beyond what the Mighty has already done. If you are looking to buy or manage songs directly, there are tons of classic MP3 players available, but they all typically lack Spotify or Amazon Music, and those that do resemble closer to smartphone functions that, again, some families may not want to have. If you're interested, there are actual waterproof versions of these devices as well if you're using them on the go, and there's a tendency for them to get wet or taking them underwater. Just so you're all aware. Besides that, pretty simple and has a particular niche market, but I do think there is some benefits for families. If you're interested, you can certainly, we'll put a link to their website in the video description down below. Thank you all so much for listening to our thoughts on the matter, and hopefully maybe we sparked some ideas on how you can better manage technology in your homes. Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye-bye for now.